Hello everyone, and welcome to Prep Ahead Stuffed Peps. My name is Erin McMahon. I'm a Master in Public Health student at University of Michigan, and this is my stuffed pepper recipe. This recipe calls for 4 bell peppers, Parmesan cheese, a package of lean ground turkey, a jar of pasta sauce, or you can make your own, and then a cup of rice. So right now I'm just cutting the tops off of the peppers so that I'm able to scoop out the insides. And the inside, the white part, is actually called the pith. You can keep it in there if you want. I just remove it for presentation. It doesn't really have nutritional value. So if you weren't previously aware, the color of the bell pepper is its stage in its life cycle. So the less ripened pepper would be the green pepper, and that's what it starts off as, and then it changes into yellow, then orange, and then red, depending on its stage, and red is the sweetest bell pepper. And another fun fact is that bell peppers are 92% water, and they're super low in calories, about 31 calories each, low in carbs as well, about 6 grams. Sugar, depending on the stage, would be around 4.2 grams. And an average bell pepper is about 120 grams, and it's a very good source of potassium and beta-carotene. Now, potassium is extremely important in regulating blood pressure and fluid balance in your body. Beta-carotene is a provitamin, a carotenoid, where it readily converts into vitamin A within your body once it is metabolized, and eating carotenoid-rich diets, such as like beta-carotene, is great for your eye health, and beta-carotene gives the color to the peppers. So the beta-carotene appears orange because red and yellow colors are reflected back to us, so the red, yellow, and orange peppers would have the highest amount of beta-carotene. So I will be making a tomato sauce today. So I have half of a sweet onion here. I usually use sweet onion just because I like the taste better. So I will be dicing this sweet onion to saute with a teaspoon of garlic and 2 tablespoons of olive oil. Now, the trick I've learned to cutting onions, I'm not quite sure if this is 100% safe, but I like to slice the end off, not the butt end. You always keep that on so that it stays together while you're cutting it. So I will make about 1/2 inch incisions lengthwise on the onion. And then I will also go horizontal, just watching my fingers, of course. And then I'll go straight down. So I'm putting that into the pot here. Then I have my minced garlic. Of course, you can mince your own garlic, it's just difficult, so I use pre-minced garlic, and that's just a teaspoon, although I like my sauce more garlicky, so I will put in 2. And then it requires 2 tablespoons of olive oil, and I'm just going to put these on the stove, medium heat, until they are nice and golden. Also in this tomato sauce, you need the tomatoes. So I am using an 8-ounce can of tomato sauce. I'm also using an 8-ounce can of diced tomatoes. And I'm going to use a small can of tomato paste. So I use lean ground turkey for this recipe, although you can use black beans or Beyond Meat if you are vegan or vegetarian, although it might have a higher sodium content. I just add in a tablespoon of olive oil to the pan, and then I will add in my ground turkey. You're also able to use ground beef. I just use lean ground turkey just because it has a lot less fat in it. And I enjoy adding a protein source into my sauce, but of course if you're vegan or vegetarian you really don't have to. You can just do the tomato sauce. So here I'm just sauteing the onions and the garlic. I just wait until they're golden brown, and that's when you know they're ready. You don't want them to burn, of course. So this recipe calls for a dash of salt, a dash of pepper, and then I add in a teaspoon of oregano, a teaspoon of basil, and a teaspoon of Italian seasoning. And because I like some spice, I'll add in some red pepper flakes, of course some parsley, maybe a little bit too much in this case, and then a bit more garlic powder. I use half a teaspoon. I'm just adding in a tablespoon of tomato paste and then stirring to combine. And tomato paste is kind of high in sodium, so you don't really have to put salt in it. I just add it for the flavor. So here I'm adding in my 8-ounce can of diced tomatoes. You can use crushed tomatoes if you like as well, to give it a more watery consistency. And then I add in my 8-ounce can of tomato sauce. I will also add in a half tablespoon of sugar just to give it a sweet flavor and balance out the acidity, and then I'll stir to combine. So for the ground turkey, I am just going to mince it up using a spatula, and then I will wait until it's cooked to a brown color, not overcooked, because it will also cook in the onion. So I took those off the heat and I am combining them together. I had pre-cooked a cup of rice. I use brown rice just because it contains the bran and the germ compared to white rice where it just has the endosperm. And white rice is a complex carbohydrate because it is enriched, so I use the brown rice just because the germ and the bran contain more health benefits. The bran's higher in fiber and the germ is high in B, vitamin K, some minerals, and such. So I have a half cup of Parmesan cheese portioned out. I'm just going to stir the rice, the meat sauce, and the half cup of Parmesan cheese together. And I'm just folding in to combine. And here's my roommate's dog. Her name's Maple, very cute. And I think they're going on a walk. So here is my mixture and my 4 peppers. This is what it looks like. And I'm just going to stuff them now. I usually pack them down a bit just so that I can get as much filling as possible in there. I'll sometimes overflow it a bit. You are able to top it off with Parmesan cheese or any other cheese that you'd like, such as mozzarella. It'll bake on the top. Of course, just the more cheese you put in, the higher the saturated fat content. So sometimes you have these finicky peppers that are an odd shape and they won't be able to stand up on your tray in order to bake in the oven. So I do have a trick for you guys. You can either cut off the bottom, not all the way through so that the filling is coming out, but just a little bit so it's able to stand on its own, or you can get toothpicks and just stick them on the side that needs a bit of assistance. And so I'll stick about 2 in there just so that it's able to stand upright. And there you go. And because I have so many leftovers, I am going to save them in the fridge for when I want just a side dish. You can also put these in the freezer, the filling or the pepper itself. You can put them in the freezer and then save them for another time. Super easy to be prepped ahead of time and then saved for a day when you can just take it out of the freezer, pop it in the oven, and you're good to go. Also super cost effective. Canned goods are only about 80 cents and a bag of rice is about $2. And I only needed a cup, so super inexpensive recipe. I'm just going to put these peppers into the oven at 375, put them on the middle rack, and I'm going to bake them for about 22 minutes. Mine turn out al dente just because I like the crunch of the peppers still, but if you like them a bit softer, I would suggest maybe another 10 to 15. And just here I am wrapping the top so that I can put this in the fridge so that I'm able to use it for side dishes throughout the week. And yeah, like I said, you're also able to put this in the freezer and store it for a future use. I hope you enjoyed my recipe on Prep Ahead Stuffed Peps, and thank you for watching.